Um, if people can afford to buy those goods and services, that means that employers are hiring for those positions, and there's demand. There's demand for those products and services. If you see periods of deflation, that means that people are not willing to buy those goods and services for some reason. And it doesn't mean it's groceries or anything like that. It could be anything: automobiles, airplanes, even vacations, for that matter, can be taken into account. So when people pull back on their spending, that means companies have to make adjustments, and what they have to do is evidently, obviously, lay people off of work. And when that happens, definitely the strings get tightened, and people are less willing to buy those goods or services that they normally like to spend on. They go to thrift stores like a Walmart or dollar stores and just buy exactly what they need, and that is it. They don't spend their money just on a whim. So let me go over a situation. I got my blackboard back here, whiteboard, I guess. Hopefully I can get it to where you guys can see everything just right. And I'm going to give you an example problem. Now listen to my question verbally. I'm not going to write out what I'm talking about, but let's just give a scenario where a person wants to buy a car, okay? And I'll just put car up here. And let's say in 1970 that car cost, let's say $5,000, okay? And the CPI in 1970, we're going to make up numbers for this. I'm not going to use the Consumer Price Index table because I want to be able to mathematically do this easily in my head just to show the example. But you will actually use the table when it comes down to using the problem. Or the problem will already give you the CPI of that given year. So let's say in 1970 you have a car that's $5,000 and the CPI was 25, okay? And let's say you're wanting to find a brand new car that's similar to what you bought in 1970 in the year 2000. You don't know the price of that car because you need to figure out, estimate about what it would be based on the CPI. Okay, CPI in 1970 was 25. I'm sorry. In 2000, we're going to say that the CPI was 100. Okay, so what you're going to do is cross multiply. Okay, so you got your. Make sure I'm getting to this where you can see it. All right, so you have your 5,000 times 100. Set that to equal to 25, and you're trying to figure out this question mark, so set that to x. Okay, and you divide both sides by 25, and you'll see that your x will eventually equal $20,000. That car that you bought in 1970 cost $5,000, and due to inflation, that same quality of car in 2000, a brand new car, will now cost you $20,000. Okay, so once you do the math on your calculator, 5,000 times 100 is equal to 500,000. Divide that by 25, and you'll get your 20,000. Okay, so that is the way you're going to solve your CPI problems. You're going to have stuff dealing with cars, either a home, maybe buying a bar of soap, just simple things like that. It's going to give you a price, and maybe you'll have to figure out what that price relatively approximately could be in year 2000. It could do the reverse. Okay, let me give you an example of the reverse of this. I'll use something else. Let's say, let's go with house this time. I like houses and I like cars and I love buying them. I don't love selling them because they lose money on buying cars. Unfortunately, they depreciate in value once they leave the lot, which really stinks. Well, let's say we have a house, and let's go with 1980. You have no clue what that house cost in 1980, okay? But you know the CPI in 1980 was, let's say again it was 25. It's just an easy number for me to use. Let's say in 2000, again, let's say That house is $200,000. That same house in year 2000 with $200,000. We want to know what the price of it was back in 1980. Okay, and the CPI for year 2000 is 100. Okay. Again, you go through your cross multiply, divide. Okay, so you have your 200,000 times 25 because you're cross multiplying those. Set that equal to 100, and you don't know what your CPI is there. Okay, divide both sides by 100. You realize that X will equal $50,000. Okay, so that house back in 1980 cost $50,000. Okay, in year 2000, you would be able to sell that house for $200,000. So that's a decent increase in value. However, when you guys calculate this out, it's not a straight 1980 and you jump all the way to 2000. You know, you have a period of increases in value. So you're going from 1980, 1981, 1982, 83, 84, 85, all the way to year 2000 before it finally reaches a value of 2,000 or 200,000. Okay, it's not a straight jump from 50,000 to 200,000. And there could have been years where there's deflation in there as well. So, but this is a nice little growth in equity as far as purchasing a house in 1980 and then turn around and selling it in 2000. All right. If you have any further questions, you know where to find me. I am your financial literacy instructor here at eSchool. My name is Will Thompson. Have a great day.